Hi everybody, this is Alan Emrich from Victory Point Games, and I'm here to take you on another exciting peek and play preview, this time of our latest game, Darkest Night by Jeremy Lennert. And you may notice a couple new things already. Note, shiny. This shrink wrap game comes in a box from Victory Point Games. This is a 1 to 4 player cooperative fantasy horror game. Something I think you're really going to enjoy. But you'll like it better when you see inside the box. So let's take a look, shall we? Alright, as you can see, the box is shrink wrap, which means I get to start this by spending half my life figuring out how to open a shrink wrap package, which, having no fingernails, puts me at a severe disadvantage. You know, everybody's so calm and collected around here. We never get nervous, we just chew our fingernails off. So, Victory Point Games box games come with a sleeve over a box, like this. The sleeve that protects the box has got the appropriate information for marketing a game, you know, the complexity rating, solitaire suitability, all the ad copies so you know what you're buying. So when you see this game in a store, and you can start looking for Victory Point Games coming to stores near you soon. If you don't see them, ask for them. So it comes with a sleeve. Then it comes in the Victory Point Games game box with our modestly presented logo on the cover and the sides. And just in case you didn't know, we're made in America, folks, right there on the bottom of the box. Now, when you open the box, it opens like a container, and there's a secret message on the inside flap. Don't read it! It's a secret! Get your own box and read it. What are you trying to mooch off me for? Okay, let's see what we have inside. Well, inside we have the instruction book, and you know, it looks like a gorgeous layout of instructions full of illustrations. There's an extended example to play at the back, help you get through that initial setup and first few turns. Convenient player aid on the back cover that you just leave lying on the table so you're ready to go. Now the game board, in this boxed edition, you get a nice Victory Point Games paperboard, but in addition to that, well, there's a surprise. Let's see. We have dice that come in the game. Woo! Notice they're not the little Victory Point Games dice of old. In a boxed edition, you get man-sized dice. Lots of cards. Let's see. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packets of cards. Now each of these packs comes with 25 cards in it, and we'll break a pack open and show you the quality. Now these are full poker-sized cards. They're just right for shuffling. In case you can't tell, they have rounded corners, which is useful for putting in and out of sleeves. They fit standard game card sleeves. Shuffle like nobody's business. So with cards like this, 6 packs, it's 150 cards, you're good to go. There's 9 character classes in the game, and each comes with its own little character sheet. They have 2 stats you keep track of with markers down at the bottom, and on the backs, for the ones you don't use, there's a convenient player aid. So since there's up to 4 players in the game, and there's 9 character cards, 4 people will have their cards set up, and for the unassigned cards, each player can use as a player aid. So that's pretty convenient. Let's see, what else have we got in here? We have bags to hold your pieces, of course. And this is a cool new touch. For the box games, whenever we can, we try and give you a mounted game board. Now this is jigsaw puzzle cut. So you put the game board together like this. Sorry, this isn't exactly flat, but it'll give you an idea. On a flat surface it looks gorgeous. We'll show you that in just a second. But you got your choice in a Victory Point Games box game. You can have the solid paper map or the mounted jigsaw cut map. You get them both in a Victory Point Games box. And in case you haven't seen our new gold banner quality components, behold, the counters. Now these counters are Victory Point Games' new gold banner uber thick counters. And if you can check out those graphics, you're going to see these babies look good. In fact, when we were showing this off at game conventions, people walked by the game and looked at the counters and said, "Who's making this? Fantasy Flight?" And I would say, no! Look at these counters! They're thicker than Fantasy Flight counters! Hello? So check that out. These are laser cut, so there might be a little scorching around the edges to help you with that. We have the Victory Point Games napkin to help you wipe off the edges of your counters. To help your delicate smell abilities, there's a couple of charcoal packs to keep that down, and the usual Victory Point Games flyers. Well, we need to turn all this into a game that's playing, so let's go play, shall we?
So if we can bring 3 of the holy relics back to the monastery, we perform a holy ritual that'll break the necromancer's magic and we win the game. Alternately, if we have at least one of them, we can try and slay the necromancer. Slaying the necromancer is tricky though, because he'll sacrifice his minions to escape. So if we beat him with a relic, but there's any blights at the location, we'll destroy one of the blights, but he'll get away. So in order to actually kill him, we need to defeat him when there's no blights at the location with a holy relic. Basic turn sequence. Each of the heroes takes a turn. We can go in any order. We can go in a different order each round. On your turn, you're typically going to draw an event card and then perform one action off of that list there. Each of the heroes has a set of power cards, which I'll get out in a minute, and has 2 main stats, Grace and Secrecy. Grace is a mystical reserve that allows heroes to survive situations that would kill lesser men. You can spend it to escape death. Secrecy is how well hidden you are from the necromancer. The lower it gets, the more likely the necromancer is to move towards you, and if it reaches 0, he can attack you. Once everyone's gone, the necromancer gets a turn. Each turn, he moves the darkness 1 space up this track. At certain thresholds, he's going to get new powers. Then he makes a movement roll, and we compare it to everyone's secrecy. If you roll strictly higher than your secrecy, and you're not in the monastery, he detects you, and he'll move towards the closest hero he detects. If he doesn't detect anyone, then he follows the numbers on the map instead. For example, with a 5 at the castle, he'd follow this arrow to the village. Then, wherever he ends up, he creates a new blight. We draw one of these map cards and look up the location to determine what kind of blight gets created. Each of the blights has some negative effect it creates. They're all on this list here. Several of them you'll have to fight at the end of your turn in order to avoid taking damage. Others of them are just passive penalties. So each of the heroes has their own private deck of 10 power cards. 4 of those power cards have this diamond symbol in the corner there. You're going to want to find the 4 cards with that symbol and pick 3 of them to start the game with. Okay. Then you shuffle all the rest of your cards together to form your deck. And we put your standing figure there in the monastery. We also give you one of these. You flip this over when you've taken your turn so we know who's gone. Okay. And Grace and Secrecy trackers, which start on the circled numbers.
Alright, I was the rogue last time I played. I like that guy a lot. But I have to try something new. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to go with the knight.
Okay.
Cool. Because the camera picking that up, Matt? Take a look, please.
Nope, it's just out of range.
Okay, go ahead and move everything over. You're the example. Okay. The shining example.
Know about that.
Oh, yes, good. Oh, wow. So,
First step.
You can't search in the monastery, but searching is generally a good goal early on. Easiest place to get powers is the castle. It has the lowest search difficulty, and you're most likely to get powers there, but you're not likely to get keys, and it's kind of far from the monastery.
Yes.
Village is sort of the castle light. Mm-hmm. Mountains and forest have about an equal split of powers and keys. Search difficulty is a bit higher. Ruins has the most keys. Swamp doesn't have keys, but it's the only place where you can draw an epiphany, which will let you search your power deck and take the card of your choice.
Okay. I'm going to move to the forest.
Okay.
So take this piece and then move here.
Mm-hmm. And Unholy Aura has no end of turn effect. That's gonna reduce you by 1 die when you fight, but in your particular case, you'd only be fighting with 1 anyways.
Yes.
So it's not much of a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So flip your turn marker to the moon's side to show you're done. And then the rest of us can go and hit it again.
Okay, so before I even leave, I should activate my Oath of Purging. And then that's my turn?
That's your turn.
Let's do that.
Okay, and flip your turn marker. I'm going to exhaust my teleport power to let me move to any location. I'm going to warp over here to the castle. Now at this point, I have to deal with the skeletons because I'm ending my turn there. They've got 4 strength and 4 awareness. That's the target number if you fight them, and that's the target number if you elude them. In this particular case, it's the same, but sometimes it's different. So in a combat, I get to use one tactic of my choice, or I can just default to fighting or eluding with a single die. I'm going to use my invisibility tactic, which I activate until I fail a combat or use a different tactic, and while it's active it gives me +2 dice eluding, so I get a total of 3. And I need any one of these dice to come out greater than or equal to the monster's awareness. That's a 4 or higher, so I've successfully eluded them and I take no damage, and my turn is over.
I think I'll move to the village. That's pretty much
Do
it.
you want to activate sprite form before you leave?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get all these fancy
Because then
forms.
I can basically just ignore blights.
You can ignore blights unless the necromancer is present.
Right. So there's sprite form. I'll go ahead and activate that. So
So put it on top of your character sheet to show it's active.
okay. See a little counter or something.
And then that's your turn, so flip your turn bar. Now we've all gone, so it's the necromancer's turn. Darkness moves up 1. He's going to follow this 3, move over to the mountains.
Ah,
Scaly.
Then we'll draw a map card and look up the mountains to determine what kind of blight is created, which in this case is an evil presence. Now I should comment, there's a maximum of 4 blights at any location. Any overflow goes into the monastery instead, and if we ever get a 5th blight at the monastery, we immediately lose. So, that's the necromancer's turn. We all flip our turn markers back up, and we can begin our new turns.
all right.
So, you're no longer in the monastery, so at the beginning of your turn, you're going to draw an event card.
Okay. Skeleton.
It's got 4 strength
Strength
and
and
4
4
awareness. So you can select a tactic to use against it. You've got 2 that you could use there, Foresight and Find Weakness.
Okay. I think I'm going to use Find Weakness.
Okay.
Which does what exactly?
I fight with 1 die, but before rolling I pick 1 die and add 1 to its result. Okay. There's a 5.
Which upgrades to a 6, which is greater than or equal to 4. So you've successfully fought the skeleton.
Do
You're
the
safe.
Discard pile.
Now you can perform an action.
Okay.
You could move again, or you could search, or you could attack that blight and attempt to destroy it.
I think I'm going to attack the unholy aura.
Alright. To destroy a blight, you have to make a fight roll, and you have to beat the blight's might, which is the large number in the corner there, in this case 4.
Mm-hmm.
Since this is a combat, so you can use a tactic, but eluding it doesn't work. You have to fight it in order to destroy it.
Okay.
So Foresight isn't going to work, but you can still use Find Weakness.
Okay. So if I use Find Weakness, this says I take minus 1 die. So if I use this tactic, does that mean I don't
But
roll?
you always get a minimum of 1.
Minimum of 1. Okay. That's good to know. I'm going to roll here. So I need to roll.
You're going to roll 1 die, add 1, and you need a 4 or higher.
There we go. 3.
And with the +1 from your tactic, you successfully destroyed this blight.
Excellent.
However, whenever you attack a blight, whether you succeed or fail, you always lose 1 secrecy. You
Okay.
attract the necromancer's attention by bumping off his minions.
Yeah, of course. So now I'm at 5.
Yes. And then you flip your turn marker to show that your turn's done.
There we go.
All right. I've got my oath rocking, and I look over at the mountains. Well, I see the necromancers there, so I'm not going to go. But this village, there's an evil presence in the village, and, well, being a
You
knight.
do have hard rides, so you could actually reach any of these locations in a single turn.
Okay, but I can't gain any secrecy.
True, but your secrecy is already at 6, and moving can't get you any higher than 5. So in this particular
Okay.
case, you wouldn't gain any secrecy anyways.
So, why don't we go down to the ruins? So, I'll use that action. 1, 2.
Okay. The Ruins has a corruption, which prevents you from using any of your powers which are labeled as bonuses. However, you have a tactic, an action, and another action. No bonuses, so that doesn't hinder you at the moment. And that's the end of my turn.
Yes, I hated that wizard sneaking around.
Okay, Mr. Druid.
Mr. Druid. Alright, I'm gonna move to the village.
Okay. And
That-
return marker. That's everyone. So Necromancer's going to raise the darkness to 2. Makes another movement roll. 3. Does everyone have at least 3 secrecy?
Oh, yeah.
Looks
Yep.
like yes. So
Mhm.
it's going to follow the numbers, which in this case instructs him to stay in the mountains. So he's going to create another blight, and the mountains now have zombies in them.
Oh man.
There's zombies.
And
in
we
there,
all flip our
mountains.
turn markers back up.
Alright.
There be zombies there.
Here there be zombies.
All right.
That should become a bit of a priority.
Well, Matt, you're a scholar. You're playing a smart dude. That means you should be doing research.
Well, alright, here we go.
Just an
Horde.
amusing side effect.
So this particular event has a variable effect depending on your current secrecy.
Get up here so we can see.
There we go.
Your current secrecy is 5, so we're going to look that up in the column here. You
Yep.
see 4+.
Yep.
So you've encountered a small horde, which has a strength of 4 and an awareness of 3.
Okay. So, I'm assuming I'm going to have to fight that.
Well, you could fight them or elude them.
So, to elude, I have to go dice roll to the awareness.
Right.
And then to fight them, it has to be to their
Strength.
strength. Okay. I've been having some pretty great luck. So, I think I'm going.
So remember, you have 2 tactics here.
I think I'm going to try. I think I'm going to find their weakness, and then try to take them down. So.
I think you actually have better odds if you elude with foresight, because this will only give you 1 die, and it adds 1 to the result. But this way you get 2 dice, and you're rolling against a lower target number.
Yeah,
This
so
is
that's
true.
the better choice.
This is true. Alright, I think I'm going to elude with 2 dice. Let's see if I can get a good handle on this. I need to roll 3. There's a 5.
Oh, you rocked it.
Successful.
Alright, so. Take
And
out
now
a
you can perform your action.
my action.
If you like, you could search, or you could move on to another location.
You're not a comeback
Well,
character.
I'm concerned because if there's 4 there, then it starts going in the monastery. If there's 4 enemies there.
I'm a knight. I got this.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna search the forest then. Search.
All right.
The
So
world's
roll
most
the die.
overconfident knight.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm
It's
all
cool.
right.
I got
it.
this.
I got this.
All right.
He's all scared.
Whatever. I got armor.
There's
You
5.
have exceeded the search difficulty, so
Take
you
a
draw a
map
map card to see what you found. Look up your location, which is the forest.
Forest. So, supply cache.
Supply cache allows you to draw 2 power cards from your deck, select 1 to keep, and put the other at the bottom of your deck.
Okay. So, did you pull them off the top here?
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2.
You shuffled at the beginning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Ancient sword and counterspell.
So, Ancient Sword will let you roll an additional die whenever you fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's cumulative with Find Weakness.
Yeah.
Counterspell activates in your location, which is the forest. So it'll stay in the forest for the whole game, but all the blights in that location have their might reduced by 1, which makes them easier for anyone to destroy.
I like that card a lot, so I think I'm going to pick this one, and then Ancient Sword, even though it's
Okay.
great, it's going to the bottom of the pile.
So we're going to put this in the forest here as a reminder.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out the ruins, Matt,
Mm-hmm.
and then you should probably see about moving there because you find a lot better stuff in the ruins than you would in the forest.
This is true.
Well, you'll find more keys, but you won't find more stuff total, because the search difficulty is the same.
Yeah, but the keys are really important, though, are they not?
Keys are very important. They are necessary for acquiring the holy relics, which are needed to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
But powers are also very useful, especially if you get them earlier in the game, because you'll have more opportunity to use them.
Okay.
So there's pros and cons.
All right.
Finally, flip your turn marker.
There you go, and I'm done.
Because I am beginning my turn at the same location as the Necromancer, I lose 1 secrecy, which brings me down to
Ooh.
1.
You've lost a ton of secrecy.
At this point, if I had been reduced to 0, the Necromancer would be able to attack me, but because I have 1 left, he can't do that quite yet.
And
So
this off to the discard pile.
You better find something good in those ruins.
now I should point out, if you want for your action, you could hide. That would allow you to recover 1 secrecy up to a maximum of 5, and it would also allow you to refresh your powers, so you get preparation back.
This is true. I think I'm trying to decide between that and searching.
I'd say you're not that bad off. So
Yeah, I'm still doing okay. So I think I'm going to search.
Okay,
And I'm gonna,
roll a die. You want a 4 or better.
yeah. There we go. I got a 6.
Sweet.
You really found
So look up the
Yeah.
ruins on that card.
I found it so hard. Okay. Waystone.
Waystone is a single-use item that can be used during your turn to teleport to any location on the map and gain 1 secrecy. Doesn't use up your action.
Excellent.
Should also point out, items can be given to any other hero at your location at any time for free. So flip your turn marker. Necromancer's turn again. He moves up to 5, and I'm pretty sure his movement roll is going to be higher than my 0 secrecy. So he stays in the castle, and he's now created a Spies. Spies cause you to lose 1 secrecy every turn you end there.
Oh man.
Which, of course, is going to be a big problem for me as I'm already at 0 and can't lose anymore. Have an event.
All right,
I'll
Mr.
take
Scholar.
this event. It's another horde. Let's see, but now I'm at 5.
You're still at 4 secrecy.
4 secrecy. Okay, so it's still small. I'm gonna find their weakness, and I'm going to take them on.
You don't want to use Foresight?
I don't want to use foresight. I think I'm gonna take them straight on.
Stay a while.
you should have played a combat character. Yeah, because of rolls like that.
Yeah, but I still
win.
I won that one.
Oh, because of rolls like that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And he went looters. So let's see. So win, I gain a rare, which I can't gain anyway because
No, you can.
Oh, I can because I can gain a stealth thing. Failure exhausts all your powers. So let's see.
You can't fight. You can only elude, and you have no tactics for eluding, so you just get 1 die. Try and roll 4 or better.
There we go. Nice.
Got it.
Oh yeah.
So you gain a secrecy, putting you up at 7.
That's 7. Excellent. I'm using my secret powers. I will search. I roll a 6.
Nice.
Oh yay.
Draw a map card.
I'd say something about those dice rolls, but I know I jinx it.
Yeah.
A treasure chest.
All right.
Hey, nice chest.
If you want, you can use that immediately to draw a new
Draw
power.
a new power.
Okay.
Which is tranquility. I get +3 to my default
Grace.
grade.
And you have to go first because otherwise I can't take the relic from you.
Yeah. Okay. So
the Necromancer attacks you because you're at 0 secrecy. Roll to elude.
okay. And
Might as well use Foresight.
Yeah.
Gives
Roll
you 2 dice.
2 dice.
You need a 6.
I need a 6. Okay. All right.
Nope.
I
So you take a wound,
okay, so I take a wound. I'm at 1.
and I suggest you hide to get preparation back. That'll
Okay.
give you a re-roll next turn in
Yeah.
case I don't
Yeah.
kill the
Okay,
Necromancer.
so I'm gonna hide.
So you gain 1 secrecy,
Gain a
not
secret.
that it'll matter,
Yeah.
and refresh your powers.
Okay.
And then you can give me the relic. I lose a secrecy for the relic and 1 for the Necromancer, putting me at 3. Oh, and at the start of my turn, I'll use Rune of Clairvoyance to look at the top map card, see what blight he's about to create. Spies. Yeah, I guess I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I draw an event. A close call. Lose a secrecy. Now for my action, I'm going
I was
to
found.
attack the Necromancer, and I'm going to exhaust Fiend Fire to fight with 5 dice.
All right, so normally we would have to get
So,
a 7.
We need a 7, but I'm adding 1 to my highest die, so a natural 6. And if that weakens blights, it
Blights.
doesn't weaken the Necromancer.
Yeah.
But if I can manage to roll a natural 6 on 5 dice, we win the game.
Yeah. There we go.
Come on.
No pressure.
Got it. Oh yeah. Yes.
Necromancer is dead.
Well, I can proudly say as the knight, if it wasn't for me, none of this would have happened.
I'd like to thank the Academy.